Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is INX Prime Live. Remember, we are on your screens every single Monday to Friday between the hours of 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now, the Police and Prison Civil Rights Union, also known as POPCRU, has applauded the KwaZulu-Natal Police for their courage and bravery in carrying out their duties. Now, the SAPS in the province have been dealing with a range of brazen criminality, including murder gangs, extortion syndicates, who often get involved in shootouts with police. Now, in the latest incident this month, 6 extortion and murder suspects were killed in a midnight shootout with police out in Durban. And KZ Police Commissioner Nhlanhla also was quite a very prominent individual involved in this. Now, we are going to be chatting to POPCRU Provincial Secretary in KZN, Nthabeleng Molefe, who is our guest, and she joins us right now. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us here at INX Prime Live. Nthabeleng.
Good evening, sir. Good evening to the viewers at home.
No, it's such a pleasure having you, and thank you again for joining us. I just want to get straight into this conversation. Now, I know that we have been seeing a lot of these incidents on social media. Are you surprised that the death toll inflicted by the against criminals in KZN has become the subject of quite a debate?
Firstly, maybe we would like to congratulate and also thank General Mkhwananzi by making sure that he keeps our streets safe. We are very much worried as the police union about the high level of crime that is happening in our province. And we also want to thank the swift response that is done by the law enforcement in terms of making sure that they act accordingly to those who are trying to make our province ungovernable. It is very much disturbing what is happening in our country, because the province, together with other provinces, in terms of high crime, there are high levels of crime that are currently happening. And with the statistics that have been released recently, it also shows that the criminals wants to turn our country banana republic. That is why, as the organization, we are saying that the police officers must make sure that when they are executing their duties, when their lives are in danger, or the lives of the innocent people are in danger, they must make sure that they act decisively. Because if it happens that they are killed, or maybe their firearms are taken from them, those firearms are going to kill many people. So to take out the criminals out of the streets, we want to appreciate such.
No, definitely, without a doubt. I just want to go back to understanding, the environment when it comes to KZN as a province. Now, it would seem that the KZN SAPS is actually dealing with violent criminals that actually get involved in shootouts quite a lot, actually. What is behind this behavior? Why do you think they're so violent compared to other provinces around the country?
I think that all the provinces have their different criminality. And it's not to say that it's only KZN which is violent. I think that the working relations that are there in terms of fighting crime and the intelligence that is gathered, it also shows that the police are working in terms of trying to make sure that they fight those who are trying to make our province ungovernable. Maybe for other provinces, maybe their crime intelligence is not as quick in terms of response or in terms of gathering information like the KZN ones. If you check in terms of the statistics, it's not only the KZN which is having high level of crime. You will take the likes of Gauteng together with the Western Cape, which are having also high criminality levels of crime. But in KZN specifically, the crime intelligence is working 24/7 together with the general and the team in terms of making sure that they follow any lead that they get in terms of making sure that all those who are doing crime, they are apprehended.
No, definitely. I mean, I'm just looking at the statement that you guys released as POPCRU just last week alone, and I'm just going through it right now. I can see that, you have actually released the statement in support of the Provincial Commissioner. Now, do you think he is actually being unfairly targeted, in your own opinion?
I think those who are fighting with the provincial commissioner, or those who are talking badly about the work that is being done by the provincial commissioner, I think that they are targeting him in wrongly, because the work that he's doing, other provinces or other communities at large appreciates, and they will wish that in their provinces also they can have the caliber of the provincial commissioner, like our provincial commissioner in KZN. So we want to say as the union that we are going to protect and make sure that we work closely with the provincial commissioner in fighting against crime in our province, because once there is high level of crime, the issue of job security, the issue of the investors, the people who are coming in our country, in terms of making sure that there are job opportunities, they are going to run away, because they are going to be afraid that whatever business that we are trying, there are those who are going to take or who will want to be paid for the people who wants to work in the country. So we do really support. And we are saying that the community, the human rights, and all those people must make sure that they are in support of what is happening in KZN. What is happening is protect the citizens of the Republic. Because once we don't protect, once the commissioner is working hard with the team, once he is not working hard with the team, and then the community will also tend to say that the police are useless, the police are not apprehending criminals, or the police are not doing anything in terms of making sure that the streets are safe. So we want to say that if maybe there is something, like you'll see when the police officer is killed, there is no one who is saying anything in terms of those people for human rights, NGO and other people. But when the police have killed the criminal, you will see the people, the communities up in arms, saying that the police are brutal. The police are not brutal, but they are defending themselves and also defending the citizens of the country.
No, without a doubt. And I mean, I'm just looking at this in terms of winning the war against crime, right? And we can look at any country around the world, more specifically the countries that have had a huge change in terms of their crime rates, like in El Salvador. Now, we know that deterrence actually plays a huge role, whether that means arrest or conviction. Do you believe we will see a reduction in crime as a result of these incidents?
Definitely, we are going to see the reduction of crime as the result of the incidents, because the criminals will know that once they come to KZN, they will face fire with fire. Because if the police are not acting decisively, we are going to see the influx of people, criminals, coming to make sure that our province is ungovernable. And once there is a lot of criminals, the police are also going to fail to police such, because we are having a serious challenge of human resource and also physical resources. So the resources that we are having currently, we are making sure that we are using it optimally. But once we are not dealing with the criminals decisively, they are going to make sure that they influx in our province. So once they want to come to our province, they will know that they can come just to visit, but not to do any criminal activities. Once they do criminal activities, they will face the mighty law. Or if they are going to kill the police, we are saying that the police must also answer with the weapons that they are having, the resources. The weapon is the resource that is given to the police to perform the duty. So now if your life or the life of an innocent person is in danger, so you will have to do what you learned from the college, that you must use such to make sure that you protect the citizens of the country. Because now currently you heard that there is the issue of the extortion, where the people went to the houses, they will want the rental fees. And then if it happens that maybe you want a tender, those people will also go and say that they will want such half of the money that you must pay to them. Automatically, what does that mean? It means that the economy in our country, or the economy in our province, is going to deteriorate, because there will no one who will want to associate with our province if there is such high level of crime.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I just want to, emphasize this as well, because I know you mentioned it a little bit, but let's just actually speak about this very important comment and controversial moment shared by POPCRU. Now, you guys have called on government to declare police killings as treason, like we did have a little bit of a conversation about it. Now, could you elaborate on how this policy will prevent criminals from opening fire on police? Because if you look at it in other countries, it's been successful so far. So I do understand the blueprint is there, but how do you think it's going to do when we're looking at it in a South African perspective and looking at our South African constitution and all of that as well?
I think the constitution is there to the constitution is guiding on how the country must not be managed, but everything must be done in terms of the constitution. The constitution also needs to change in terms of making sure that they protect, because if the constitution is also not protecting, it is a challenge. We are now talking about the Criminal Procedure Act. If you see those acts, they are the acts which emanates long time ago. If I'm not mistaken, it's the Criminal Procedure Act of 1977, which it also gives the upper hand to the people who are doing something which is wrong. So now, if when we are saying that those who are killing the police, that such charge must be treason, it is going to assist in making sure that all those who will want to kill the police in future, they know that it will be the same like overthrowing the state. And even the bail, they must not get the bail, and they must not ever see the sun. So now you know that in terms of the law, it says that the person is innocent up until proven guilty. I think that is also a challenge, because the person who killed the police will be apprehended, taken to court, and then the court will go and release that person on the bail. And then it will also give another sign to the people who are out there to say that even if I can kill the police, I'm also going to be able to get the bail. So once the charge has been changed to treason, it will be very, very serious. It is not going to be normal as the normal murder. So if the person is charged with treason, it will differ as a person which is going to be charged in a normal murder. So I think that is also going to be able to allow the criminals to think twice if they want to attack or want to kill the police.
No, definitely. And I think just in closing, before we let you go, we are getting a lot of comments and questions coming in from social media. And Oscar actually has quite an important question for you as well in that sense. Now, in Nthabeleng, just looking at what Oscar is mentioning, he's saying that our current GNU, for example, we have the likes of our police minister, Minister Senzo, but we also have our Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Minister Gayton McKenzie, coming out and saying that perhaps we need to relook at the idea of a death penalty in that sense, where if, for example, criminals, do massive or very horrible or dangerous crimes, for example, Schedule 1, 2, 3, for example, and if they continually do these crimes, then perhaps there should be a death penalty put onto them. So if they continually do the same crime more than once, then we should actually allow for that to happen, and obviously have a higher threshold when it comes to that in terms of identifying and admitting whether someone is guilty of that. What's your opinion on that statement by Gayton McKenzie?
I think as the union, we need to firstly discuss the issue of the death penalty, because where the death penalty comes from in the previous years or in those other years where there was a death penalty. But I think if maybe the death penalty wants to be reopened again, or maybe the people who are having committed crimes once or twice, and such needs to be negotiated or not, we need to discuss it thorough and see the pros and cons of such before maybe I can be able to say that yes, we can go back to the death penalty or not, because I think it will be premature for me to say that we must go to the death penalty or not. But the charge of treason for killing the police officers is also going to make sure that those who want to try and then they are going to spend the rest of their lives inside the prison without ever coming out to the public to kill or to continue doing crime.
Yeah, that's a very controversial and a very powerful policy that you would like to implement, without a doubt. But again, Nthabeleng, thank you so much for joining us this evening on INX Prime Live.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, the viewers.
Thank you so much, guys. That is Nthabeleng Molefe, who is the KZN POPCRU Provincial Secretary, just sharing with us, their views in terms of criminality that's happening in KZN and how it's so important for society and the government to be able to go out there and indicate that if, for example, a police officer is killed by a criminal, then that is an act of treason. And that's a very strong and controversial point. Let us know your opinions on social media as well, whether you believe that makes a lot of sense. You can let us know on social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, X, and many of our other platforms as well. Guys, we still have quite a lot for tonight to go through. But before we do any of that, let's take a quick ad break. We'll come right back.